And criminal lawyer Elliott Willschick, he joins us now from Toronto. Elliott, were you surprised by this, or was this the way it seemed to be going for a while?
I was very surprised by it, actually, and I think the difficulty a lot of people will have is they remember vividly exactly how gory this crime was and how it was just so random. Yet, if you're familiar with the law, it's not so surprising, actually. The Supreme Court made a decision in 1999 that anyone who's found not criminally responsible would be deserving of an absolute discharge.
And what they're saying he was basically someone who took all of the advice that was given to him and during his stay and then his subsequent sort of apartment or release to some point of freedom, he has done, again, everything that they've asked.
Yes, and that's something to remember, that they're not just letting him go free. They've tested him for quite a while. So he was under the care of a psychiatrist. His psychiatrist said that it took about a year for him to become symptom-free. So they've been slowly giving him his freedom. It's not as if all of a sudden he's free to do whatever he wants. He certainly has demonstrated that he doesn't pose a threat, and the review board does not make these decisions lightly.
So, Elliott, what kind of checks and balances would he have had to go through over the past number of years?
Well, over the past number of years, he would have certainly been under the care of a doctor. They were going to make sure that he takes his medication. They're going to select a place where he lives and have him check in. And slowly those checks have been taken away. So now I guess a lot of people will be concerned because essentially there are no conditions on him anymore. I believe he stated in the past that he plans on staying in Canada for a few years and then perhaps returning to China. But at this point, people can feel somewhat relieved in the sense that he's been tested. Now, whether or not he deserves his freedom is something entirely different.
Yeah, that's got to be hard for the family of the victim.
It certainly is, because this was, as I said, such a random crime. It was very gory. There were details in it which, are just absolutely shocking to the conscience of the public. But at the same time, the courts are concerned with the individual's rehabilitation. He's certainly done everything he needs to do to demonstrate that hopefully he won't be any threat to society.
What about reintegration? I mean, as we say, he's been in an apartment or he's already had some freedom with the checks in place. What are his ongoing challenges as he does integrate into society?
His ongoing challenges are most people are going to know him, and it's going to be very difficult if he tries to go for a job. So an absolute discharge is something that's granted. Technically, you can't see it on his record after a year when he goes for regular job checks. So that will not hold him back within 1 year of today if he tries to go for a job. But his difficulty is that I'm not sure how many people are going to hire him not realizing who he is. So the most difficult part for anyone with any type of criminal charges is trying to get some type of employment afterward. And that will certainly help. Once he actually does find some employment, it will certainly help him reintegrate into society.
Criminal lawyer Elliott Willschick joining us out of Toronto. Elliott, thanks for that.
Thank you very much for having me.